Hello and welcome to Führerreich, Legacy of the Great War. If that sounds familiar to you, that might be because you've heard of Kaiserreich, Legacy of the Weltkrieg. Well, imagine a world where Germany won World War I. Germany dismantles the Entente. The nations of the Entente have syndicalists, like far-left revolutions. Their nations or their governments are overthrown. King George flees to Canada. And Germany establishes a colonial administration that spans the entire globe. It installs puppet governments around the world, puppet monarchs, in what they call the Reichspakt. Well, now imagine that in that world a German author called Paul Erich Remarque, I believe, writes a book about a world in which Germany lost World War I. In 1919 instead of winning it, and Germany's empire is dismantled by the Entente allies. A Soviet revolution happens and succeeds in Russia against all odds, and a national populist variant ideology rises up from the revanchist Germany, and a Deutches Reich rises up out of the German Weimar Republic. What is this strange world I'm talking about? well, it's a world not that dissimilar from our own, but just skewed a little bit, because it was written through the eyes of someone who lived in the Kaiserreich world. This is a alternate history, double-blind. It's fucking weird as hell. But it's very interesting, though I hate this flag. This flag fucking sucks. I'm sorry, I don't like it. But, it's very interesting, it's very cool, and we are going to have a look at it through the eyes of Adam Dressler, the, Adolf Hitler equivalent of this world, and his Falkist movement. So, the Deutsches Reich. The Falkistische Deutsche Volkspartei. Or Partei. I don't know. I don't speak German. I'm Norwegian, if you couldn't tell. Let's jump in. So this is a new series, in which I'm going to be playing a bit of this. I'm not sure how much. I'm thinking I'm going to try to, basically finish the war, but I don't know how long the war is, and so on and so forth. I don't know how well fleshed out all this stuff is, but let's have a look at the map, because the map is fucking weird as hell. The Spanish Civil War is already ongoing. Monarchist Spain with His Majesty Jamie, how do you pronounce that in Spanish? Because the J's are like, that can't be Hem. Leopoldo y Battenberg, so that's probably just like a very internationalized name. Jose Antonio Primo de Rivera, who is a phalangist. So it's a bunch of different right-wing sort of paramilitaries and stuff joining together to fight against left-wing stuff. So you've got national populists leading, but you've also got Falkists in their alliance. You've got the Republican Spain, which is actually very moderate. And then you've got the Spanish Popular Front. Socialists. The ideologies here are also very similar to the Kaiserreich ones, because it's based on that. So you've got the paternal autocrats, national populists, social conservatives, market liberals, etc., authoritarian democrats. But yeah, the map is fucking weird. You've got the French colonial administrations, which are all sort of decentralized, like the French like to do. You got the United Kingdom's colonial administration, which is all kind of centralized, like the UK like to do. You've got the Kingdom of Belgium's Belgian Congo still, with fucking Albert in charge. Belgian Congo, of course, being horrible. Portuguese Republic. Interesting flag for their colonial administration. You've got the US. Why is there no music? There we go. Don't have the Führerreich music mod yet, because I haven't actually fully screened it. I did with the Kaiserreich mod. You've got Lord Anderson, Dominion of Newfoundland. That's weird. the borders in this are so strange as well. You've got this like straight border here in the Dominion of Newfoundland. You've got Dominion of Canada. The US for some reason owns Baja. Don't know why. Mexico is synarchist. Some sort of national populist movement. The flag, ugly as hell. United States of Brazil. Market liberal. Republic of Argentina. Cool glasses on this dude. There's a bunch of really interesting stuff here. Now, being from Norway, I gotta say, how the fuck did this happen? I don't necessarily mind, but how did the... Excuse me, what the fuck? What? No, hold on a minute. What? So first of all, Martin Tranmæl was a prominent socialist in moderate socialist, I would say, in Norway, who was prominent in Arbeiderpartiet, but Arbeiderpartiet was never libertarian. Their Labour Party, or you know, the Workers' Party, and the Republic of Norway, which has abolished the monarchy and put Martin Tranmæl as Prime Minister. Yeah, what the fuck? Struggle with monarchist and anti-socialist riots, and he cannot imagine a Norwegian republic without... what is... yeah, how is this a thing? And also, libertarians? That's so strange. I do like how they do have a personalized focus tree, though, that is actually very, in a sense, accurate to some of the stuff that was going on with Norway, especially with its ties to the United Kingdom. Kingdom of Sweden and Kingdom of Denmark remaining more or less like they were, except, I don't know, this dude's wearing a military uniform, and that's... I don't know if that's actually the king at this point. French Republic has Pierre Etienne Flandin, I don't know, as their prime minister. Or president, sorry. And then, of course, we've got the Deutches Reich. We've got something interesting here. We've got a demilitarized inter-allied occupation zone in the Rhineland. This was something that was... well, this is basically the idea behind the World War II occupation of Western Germany, where the Allies administrated different zones, with the Soviet Union taking East Germany, of course, and Berlin being split in two, but, of course, surrounded by the Soviet Union, which caused some trouble. The Netherlands are the Dutch state by Bernard of the Netherlands. I have no clue who this is. It doesn't say. He looks like a movie star with this setup here, but also kind of, I don't know, sinister. But yeah, that's National Populist. They're part of the Stahl Pact. That's our pact. The Steel Pact. And because of that, the British have taken over the Dutch East Indies possessions. Commonwealth of the Philippines. You've got a bunch of... you got Chiang Kai-shek in charge of China, of course, national government. The... you know, the nationalist movement, the front. You've got the... got the Beijing government. With... interesting, okay. Fengshan government. Yeah, then you got the Mao clique and the Shaanxi clique and the Szechuan clique and the Yunnan clique. We got French Indochina still. It's a lot of stuff we gotta look at. There's an Indian revolt going on against the British Raj, which is cool. Gave some something like a bit dynamic to that. The Ottoman Empire, of course, got destroyed, being one of the losing sides in the First World War. Still retaining the title Empire, though, which is interesting. Germany, of course, had to abdicate their emperor in the real, life world. And we got the Hellenic Republic, the Greek Republic here, which has taken the Dardanelles and all that. which is very strange. We've got a demilitarized Constantinople, or a demilitarized Bosphorus Strait, which is cool and interesting, because that would be interesting as something imposed upon them to make sure that everyone can pass through the Bosphorus Strait and reach the Black Sea. Kingdom of Italy occupies the coastline here. I'm guessing that's because they want to have sort of supremacy over or try to maintain some sort of supremacy over the Mediterranean. United Kingdom occupies Cyprus, and there's also something really interesting here. There's the Jewish Protectorate in Israel and Palestine. And that's also interesting. They don't have their own focus tree, though. French, the zone up here as well. And we've got the Mashriki Kingdom as well, and the Hashemite Arabia and whatnot. It's a very strange and slightly skewed world. You've got the Republic of Finland as well, with Carl Gustav Mannerheim as the leader of the Republic, which is also interesting. You've got the Baltic Soviet Republic, but I believe that is the only Soviet Republic. National Ukraine. I believe I believe in this world, the Ukrainian National Revolt, which established a brief Ukrainian republic, was not crushed by the Soviet Union, or the Bolsheviks, who then took over and established the Ukrainian Soviet Republic. Oh, and the Russian Republic exists, I guess. Commonwealth of Australia. Union of South Africa. Yeah, it's just a very strange and very cool and interesting world, and we're going to dive right into it. So, tech. Tech is mostly the same. And by that I mean it is literally the same. I haven't seen anything really that is different, so we're going to go with apparently we've got to research basic machine tools. Construction 1. We're going to go with electronics, mechanical computing, and how about we don't just start with doctrine, we're going to go mobile warfare doctrine, because we are Germany, like Germany in Vanilla Hearts 4, but not quite. We need to remilitarize. We have some military factories. We actually have decent military construction. We're creating Panzer IIs. We're creating Mercedes L3000. Sounds like a Fallout vehicle. Creating a BF-109. Junkers 87. That's a Stuka with its Horn of Jericho screaming as it drops its bombs. The Heinkel 111 got Type 2 class submarines. Those are old as fucking dirt. If they still are like the real life Type 2, aren't we meant to use like Type 7, Type 7B submarines at this point? Well, that might actually be in like 4 or 5 years. Never mind. Let's look at the submarines we have, because those were outdated. Yeah, they are outdated. We have, yeah, that's the Type 7 class. That's the one we should be making. So I'm going to start production of that one, so that once these finish up, they start creating that one en masse. And let's see. Yeah, we need to create a couple of military factories, but we should actually focus on civilian factories. Civilian factories first, I think, actually, and then we'll do the rest afterwards. National focus, strengthen our government. We don't have a lot of choices. We start with only one thing we can go down. This is the introduction. We must legitimize the government. Many factions in Germany still seek to undermine the authority of the ruling Falkist party, or Falkist party. Rumors of insurrection run rampant through Germany. We must legitimize your position. Our position. If we wish to keep control of Germany. I'm not a Falkist. Let's assign all our units to some armies. Oh, it's so fucking weird to see these icons when I'm used to seeing the NATO icons. But I think we'll make do. Leibgarde, Adam, that's lifeguard. Those are bodyguards. Is that really how you would say Livvakt? lifeguard in, or bodyguard, lifeguard. So it's hard to explain, but the root word, or the also Scharfschütztruppe, Hermann Göring. That's okay. So that's some sweat on the brow type divisions there, I think. But yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. The word in German and Norwegian, I believe, is, you know, life and then God. But lifeguard means someone who sits in their swim trunks and watches people on the beach, making sure they don't drown. But livvakt, direct translation of life and God in Norwegian, is a bodyguard. And so it is in German as well, I believe. So I'll put... actually, so this guy is the Adendressler's personal guard. Apparently they are in München. And Hermann Göring's boys are in... Wait. No, that's... Göring is in München. Where is Dressler? Oh no, he's in München. Göring is in Nürnberg. Well, Standard der... Okay, so these are the Tulleschutzgruppe. These are this universe's version of the SS. Yeah. I'm not necessarily going to create a lot of SS. I'm going to create infantry divisions first of all. Create as many as possible to begin with. I'm not sure if we need divisions for certain foci like we do in the base game. We don't need cavalry because we're not going to invade to the east quite yet, I think. Actually, no, maybe Kingdom of Poland. I'm not quite sure how it works in this game. With the progression towards war and stuff. Outdated equipment, yep, we know about that. What we need rubber and we need oil. You know, water is wet, Germany is still Germany. And gotta still separate off some of these stuff or some of these divisions that aren't infantry. Let's just put the Tulleschutzgruppe in their own army again. Let's split this in two. Let's set one up near this zone here, the Rhineland Allied Administrative Zone. Führerreich Alpha build 0.3.0. After several months of working hard on releasing a new version of Führerreich, we are proud to present our newest update, 0.3.0, the Latin Sisters. The Führerreich team worked hard to make sure various nations were improved significantly. We will, however, continue working and hold ourselves to the highest standards to ensure that you can enjoy our mod immensely. Sorry, I think you do. I think you have a quite high standard of work here, and I actually, so far, I'm very, very, very impressed. The only thing is I'm just kind of like, there's some stuff that isn't communicated quite clearly why it is that way. Like, for example, why the fuck are the Norwegian, Labour Party, which is at this point a coalition between, or divided coalition between, well, not coalition, but it's divided between two camps. The, very more radical socialists who want to be a part of the Comintern in real life, and the more sort of moderate social democrats who are still at this point kind of socialist. Why are they libertarian? Is this a different meaning of the word libertarian that I'm not quite familiar with? Please explain. We are, however, still in alpha, and we would like to request your patience and cooperation in any bugs or crashes that you might experience. We would gladly receive reports about these. Do keep in mind that having other mods enabled with Führerreich might cause crashes or bugs. Without further ado, enjoy. So yeah, please give them all the feedback and help that you can. Hello there. Similar to Kaiserreich, the world of Urich relies heavily on news events in order to feel alive and interesting. Ultimately, there's the possibility that you may not appreciate this though, and would prefer to turn it off to reduce event spam. I'd prefer to see all news events, because I've never played this before. Unpause. Who are our generals? Are they Nazis? Yes, they are. Who would have thought? We've got all the Nazis. Every single one. Indian Rebellion, 1935. This is some Victoria II shit right now. During the later weeks of 1935, widespread rioting took place in several important Indian cities following the refusal of the British administration to reform the working conditions and raise pay throughout the British India. These harsh conditions were imposed as early as 1924 and have since caused great resentment among the population. Perhaps the empire is not as strong as people suspect. Führerreich sounds like a northern Norwegian, honestly. Walter von Reich now, I've heard of him. Albert Hydra von Beck, of course. I didn't know there was an age on that. There's a lot of people here. A lot of generals. Erwin Jenke. Heinrich Schulz. Yeah, I've heard of pretty much all of these. That related to the other Yodel. Or Yodel. Wilhelm List, of course, these are in the base game, as you can tell by their portraits. See if there are any, like, strange ones, outliers that I wouldn't expect. Josias zu Waldeck-Pyrmont. He sounds, I don't know, he sounds like Czech or like something like that. Waldeck-Pyrmont, I don't know. And yeah, a lot of these don't sound necessarily all that German. Some of them, or at least some of them. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, we're going to have the infantry here be commanded by someone who's like Erwin von Witzelben, for example. Or this guy would be good for an East Front, Ostfront. Alfred von Randov. Johannes Blaskowitz would be good on the West Front, I think. So would Friedrich Schultz. I'm gonna do Johannes Blaskowitz on the West Front. I'm gonna do East Front. I'm gonna do the man I just mentioned, who's got the skilled staffer, which gives him 6+ extra boys in his army. Oh, this one is actually also really good. Colonel max army group size, so he's good for a field marshal. Did I scroll past my mans? I did. There we go. Randov, he's going to be on the Ostfront because he can command a larger army so that we can spread him out a bit once we get to the wider fronts. Let us get a good symbol. I hate these symbols. They're so very, very non-distinct. Wish there were like straight up tank symbols as well. Oh my god, that's loud. The Great Pacific Alliance. The morning in Washington, D.C., the American President Charles Curtis announced the formation of the Pacific Coalition with the Empire of Japan against some unnamed threats, which is planning attacks against the interests of both countries. Ah. Mass arrests of Japanese Navy personnel. I got a U.S. declared one. Just outside Manila, the capital of the Philippines, during the naval exercise, Japanese planes circled Manila before attacking Filipino military base and causing many Filipino casualties. The attack damaged Filipino military bases, airfields, and dockyards, along with damages of the American embassy. The Philippine head of state has already asked for help from the American president, and the president has called for the House and Senate to allow the declaration of the war on the Japanese Empire, who they just... What the fuck? Russian Republic retakes Russia... Huh? Okay. It's an alpha. Let's have a look at what actually happened here. Nothing. Right? Yeah, nothing. Nothing happened. No alliance, no war, no nothing. Okay, cool. So that's a bug. The only mod I'm running is the... Sorry, I bumped the desk there. The only mod I'm running is the colored buttons mod. So... shouldn't be any of that that's affecting all this, or creating all these insane situations. Central Penetration Army. This is a, or Celestial Penetration Army. This is a fucking anime reference. This, I think, right? This is a Gurren Lagann reference. You know, minus the drill that'll pierce the heavens or something. Sorry if you have no clue what I'm talking about. Except Dietrich, that's armor. Do we have anyone with combined arms? Because that would be cool. Von Weiks can get it. Right? You can get combined arms from cavalry, right? Yeah. I'll do him then. Coach student, we need a mountain boy. Ernst Eberhard. Hell would be good for the East Front somewhere, like the northern East Front, Finland, that kind of area. We should add pins that are like, this guy needs to be, you know, in this place. Heinrich von Bayern. Not gonna choose any of those. I'm gonna save that, and we should... Wait, shit. He shouldn't be, it should be the other way around. This should be led by some... Why is Erwin von Rommel at the front? I mean, he does have attack and literally nothing else, which is fitting for Rommel, but, yeah, why is he necessarily, like... You know, placed so highly? Might be just, might be, the, alphabetical order of his name, and so on and so forth. Manstein, like, he would be really good, I think. We got no Panzer experts, do we? We only got Panzer leaders. Or is there armor officer? Yeah, armor officer. I'm gonna put Manstein in charge. Where is Guderian? Is he dead? Something happened to him. Are we without our tank papa? Fortress Buster is good. Scavenger is good. Fortress Buster is actually amazing for... Oh boy, am I gonna read all this shit? Fortress Buster is good for tanks, I think. So is Entrenchment Speed, actually. It's actually incredibly good, because they're gonna be moving a lot. I'm gonna go with... Oh shit, I can't, because I don't have command power. Never mind. Our government has been an international pariah ever since the end of the Great War. The Treaty of Versailles carved our nation apart and left it a shadow of its former glory. In 1933, Adam Dressler led a coup which put his Falkist party in power. Though it was massively popular with the people of Germany, the Entente powers with the support of Britain has put sanctions on our nations and... Our nations? We are one nation. And spread propaganda to our citizens criticizing Adam Dressler as an anti-Christian warmonger. In this troubled time, many factions have arisen in Germany, I was meant to say arisen, to undermine the Falkist party and using international controversy to their advantage. 1-0 there for the two. Popular war hero Hermann Göring has been the leader of the second largest nationalist faction in Germany for many years. Though Göring sees eye to eye with Adam Dressler on many issues, he disagrees with Adam Dressler's radical philosophy, and also strongly believes that to have a fighting chance to win another great war, Germany must be fully self-sufficient. So Göring wants autarky, while Dressler wants international cooperation and alliance. Göring has laid out a 4-year plan that will make Germany competitive with the great powers in the case that another conflict were to break out. But until that point, Germany must appear peaceful so as not grab attention to the ever-watchful French, our greatest threat on the continent. Of course, in the Continental Entente, which is one of the alliances in the game. We've also got the Imperial Protection Alliance. The French and the UK are not in the same alliance, which is interesting. And you got the Third International, of course, and then we have us in the Stahlpakt. The Steel Pact. When Adam Dressler took power, he disbanded the Reichstag. Adam Dressler is a vocal opponent to liberal democracy and saw the Reichstag as only a roadblock in the way of restoring the greatness of Germany. With suspected funds from France, though many pro-democracy... Okay, that needs to be written. Though many pro-democracy factions have pushed for the re-establishment of Reichstag. What? Despite the inherent slowness of democratic system plans, systems, plans have been drawn up in which Adam Dressler would remain Chancellor for life with final legal say, but a new Reichstag would be formed to draft laws and administer smaller local issues. Giving power to a separate legal body may endanger the influence of Adam Dressler, but the facade of democracy may satisfy the French and the liberals within our borders. Within the inner circle of the Falkist Party, a final solution has been drafted to have any opposition to Adam Dressler eliminated. A great purge will rid Germany of any who seeks to undermine Falkist authority and will cement Adam Dressler as the unquestionable Führer of all Germans. We must purge any opposition. Holy fuck. That was a lot of stuff to read, and also it was made harder by some of the spelling mistakes, which it's alpha, but also that's also, I think, the easiest stuff to fix in anything like this. Just read it over after you've written it, give it a run-through, make someone else read it, and make them spot your slight spelling mistakes. Still, I gotta say though, I'm still really impressed, though. Yeah, I'm still really impressed with all this. We're gonna go down, purge the opposition. The rise of our Falkist Party has so far been successful and widely received by many citizens of the German Reich. However, within our parliament, there are corrupt politicians who seek nothing but to only weaken the current system and seek to maintain the status quo that the Weimar Weimar Republic. I was like slipping too deep into the German there. Weimar Republic. Weimar Republik. These threats must be eliminated. Well, we are at the 30-minute mark, or 32-minute mark, 31-minute mark, something like that. My brain thanks me for bringing this video to a close now, because apparently it is not doing too well. Now, before I go, I want to first, thank you for watching this video. This is the first video in a series which is important, because if it is shown support, that does tell me that, you want to see more, and also, if the first video is shown a lot of support, that means more people will watch the following videos. Because YouTube is, like, very interested in engagement and likes and comments and stuff like that. So because of that, I'm going to ask a couple of manipulative questions to get you to comment and like, so that the SEO stats are boosted, and so that my video does better. I am, but also I'm joking. So, first of all, I haven't played this mod before. If there's anything specific you want me to check out, if there's anything specific you want me to do, if you have tips, tricks, hints, etc., suggestions, put them in the comments. I do want them, and I also do want the SEO. And if you want to, you can reach me on social media using the Twitter link and the Discord link in the description down below. If you want to get this mod, you can find the mod link in the description as well. And if you would like to reach out to the community at large, the one that suggested that I play this, or you would like to suggest me play other stuff, go to the Discord. That's where we do that stuff, and that's where we talk together as a community daily. Finally, penultimately, I've got a Twitch channel where I stream semi-regularly every now and then. I stream Hoi4 and other games. Some games that are not a good fit for YouTube, I will stream on twitch.tv, where I can talk to you and you can talk to me live as we play. It's a lot of fun. That's also where I'll be playing multiplayer stuff, if I do play with viewers, subscribers, etc, etc. And finally, you can find that in the description as well, by the way. And finally, if you would like to, you can support me on Patreon financially, $1 and above. There's only one tier, it's $1 and above. You can give however much or however little you can / want to. It's so that anyone who wants to give to me can do so, though, of course, do not do so unless you are comfortable and capable of caring for yourself. Care for yourself or take care of yourself before you take care of others. And that is about it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Führerreich. Goodbye.